Hi guys, before getting to the video, just a quick call out to everyone who watches my videos. Please, can you subscribe to the channel? I've got lots and lots of views. I'm really happy with the views I'm getting. The channel's growing really well. But I've noticed a lot of you don't actually subscribe. So if you can subscribe, it'll really help the channel, especially as we're all in lockdown, and this will stop us from getting bored. The more content I can make, the more entertained you will be, and it just will get us through this tough time. So please, if you can, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I promise you there is something coming for subscribers, a special something for subscribers soon. So if you're a subscriber, you'll be eligible for that. Anyway, moving on, let's get on to the video today. So today's video is going to be about my Mini Z, Kyosho Mini Z all-wheel drive Evo Ma030. Okay, so this car, I've done lots of videos in the past. I haven't forgotten about it. I did have a little bit of a disaster with it, which I'll have another video about. But today I'm going to focus on the track. So you can see I've got white wheels on. Normally I have black wheels. These white wheels have got grip tires on. Okay, so one of the things I found with this car is that because it's got a high mounted front motor, ignore all the dust on the car, this is from running on the track the other day, the high mounted motor is a plus and a negative. It's a plus when you're going over bumps. It seems to make it more stable. It's really good. It does seem to help with the stability, and it makes the handling very predictable. The negative is because it's high up, as opposed to where the previous generation all-wheel drive, where the motor was sort of lower down here, because it's high up, the car has a tendency to flip. So the first time I ran this, we had lots of very easy and quite horrendous flips where the car just spun out for ages, and I thought I was going to damage the car. Now, speed wise and handling wise, it actually performed pretty well. It got around the track pretty fast, and it was very good in the tight corners as well. But this flipping business was getting a bit scary, and I didn't want to have to spend a load of time trying to wait for parts, which in the current climate are a bit harder to get hold of. So one of the things you can do, which the Mini Z is brilliant for, is you can change the width of the hubs. Okay, so how do you change the width of the hubs? In the pack, in the box, with everything else that you get spare plates. Now if you look on the plate that's on here at the moment, let's just adjust that so you can see it. It says W. Okay, so right here it says W. Okay, now this, when it arrives, typically they're always set to narrow, and that means the distance between the wheels is narrow. Okay, same on the bottom. There's another plate here, and that one says W, says wide. Okay, so the great thing about Mini Zs are you can set them narrow for a smaller track, or for different body shells, or for different types of racing. But when you're racing on a bigger track and you want to pick up a lot of speed, you need a wide wheel track. So first thing I did on this car was I put quite a wide wheel set on, and with the widest wheels, the most I could manage was 72 millimeters at the front, and I think 74 millimeters at the back. So we're talking the width of the wheels. That wasn't good enough. With that setup, the car was flipping. So as you can see already, I've changed this over to wide front and rear. So the front now measures, now I probably could get some wider wheels, but this was the widest I could manage at the time. Now measures about 75, if I've got that right. Yeah, about 75, you can see that there. Okay, and the rear now measures, so this was 74, it now measures, sorry, I'm off camera there, it's about 76. Okay, 77 actually is more accurate, 77. So it added 4 millimeters by changing the front plates, and for the rear we've got DWS, which means double wishbone suspension, and you have to change a lot of parts on this. It was so tedious, but remember, it's an advantage. This car gives you the option. The BZ3, the GLA, well, the BZ3 definitely, it comes in one width. You have to buy a lot of parts separately if you want to make it narrow. I don't think you can with the BZ3. The GLA, there is that option, but this out of the box, you get the parts with it. So you have to change this wishbone here, this part here, this part here. You have to change that there, that link there. Okay, and then also the drive shafts themselves have to be longer. And in the box, I've actually done a video on this which shows me laboriously changing all the parts front and rear and losing my mind, but we got there in the end. but all the parts come in the Evo box, which is actually quite good considering that Kyosho often don't put accessories in that you need, like the ICS lead. They do include all the parts so you can switch over everything to make the chassis wide. So this now in wide mode is pretty good. Now, did it stop it flipping? Yes, it did. It did on the whole, but you couldn't put the same speed through a corner like you can with the BZ3. The BZ3 and the GLA, the way they're set up, the low center of gravity, you can fly around those corners. Can this compete with those cars? Yes, it can. If you're a skilled enough driver, I think you can keep up. But, you know, with two people with exactly the same skills on exactly the same track, these cars are going to carry more speed through the corners. They just are. Now, I was pretty happy with this setup. One thing I will mention is there's very few shells which are 98 millimeters, which is the length you require for the double wishbone on the Evo, and are wide enough to allow for this extra width. Now, the Audi R8 is a brilliant shell for this. I think the McLaren shell is pretty good as well, the MC12 that I've got on the GLA. So what I mean by that is there's not many shells that will actually allow that extra wheel width, so you don't hit the arches and you can actually turn without bashing things, okay, as in bashing your shell. So that's very, very important. Otherwise, I had a great time with this car. It was really good. So I've got some footage coming up of me racing around the track. You'll see that I do still have a few topples, not like the one in the intro where you can see it flying up in the air, but they're much more subtle and controllable, so you can see them coming almost. But one other thing to mention, obviously I run my car with lipos, so my two heavy batteries are here and the two dummy batteries are there. Now, whether that makes a difference running it with 4 cells at the bottom, whether that balances out that weight up there, I didn't try that, and the reason is to get the equal performance to the BZ3 and to have the same weight. So as this is set up now and that is set up, they are both the same weight. Loaded, they're about the same weight, and that gives you equal performance. This one has an 8,500 kV motor and this has a 5,500 kV motor. I think with this setup you could see that this car had more power. That's only because of the motor. I think if this had the same motor it would destroy the Mini Z. But let's talk about competitiveness. Yes, they are, you know, pretty competitive. You could, if you're a good driver, you can get the most out of this car. It performs really well in the tight corners. I'm not knocking it. But if you had two drivers exactly the same with both the motors exactly the same in both cars, the GLA and the BZ3, lower center gravity, they will fly around those big sweeping corners much quicker. So in that aspect, yes, they are better. But hey, you can make this car smaller, you can make it into a drift car. It's just, you know, it's a different kind of thing, and it's, you know, a neater package. So that's where I stand with that at the moment. I have got a full-length video of me changing all those parts. I've also got a video where I'm changing all the electronics in the car, and I'm just going to see what feedback I get as to whether I should post that, because they are kind of long videos with not much action going on apart from me fiddling with a screwdriver and trying to take apart a Mini Z and put it back together. I will say one thing for these cars: as neat as they are, anything that you have to do, you typically end up having to take apart the whole car. So that's the video for today. Just a quick whiz through. If anyone wants to see more detail on this car, go back and look at one of the previous videos. I'll put a link up for the video where I actually review the car, and I've got one where I use the lipo battery, so you can see those in more detail. But if you're a regular on the channel, you already know that, and you can go back and have a look. Okay guys, I think that's all for today. I will do another video comparing definitely these two cars. I'd like to do a circuit video with the GLA on there. The servo was broken the other day, so I couldn't do that, but now it's fixed. So if I can get the track back out, weather holds, I'll get a 3-car comparison going. But if you like the video, please like the video. Please like the video. I'm getting lots of views. I could do with more likes to boost that YouTube algorithm. And also, please subscribe to the channel. I can't say enough. Your subscription counts, and I will be bringing out special content for subscribers. Thank you very much. See you soon.